Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just How Good is the Line 6 Helix, and in this episode I'm going to be comparing the Line 6 Helix and the STRYMON Iridium again, but this time I'm going to be using Marshall style amps. So in previous episodes I compared the Fender style amps of the Iridium and the Helix. I did a video which was 3 modelers and 1 song, which was comparing the Helix, the Fractal FM3, and the STRYMON Iridium doing Vox style sounds. And this video is going to be doing the Iridium and the Helix with their Marshall style tones. So in this video I'm going to do a similar thing that I did in the 3 modelers 1 song. You know, there's so many ways you can do these kind of experiments or tests, whatever you want to call them. And I decided I liked the one way I did it with the 3 modelers 1 song, where I took each modeler, I took a drum and bass rhythm section and the various guitar parts, and I just took the modeler and dialed a sound in that I thought worked for that particular situation. Then without comparing that to the other modeler, I went back and I dialed in how I would react to that modeler. And I thought that's kind of an interesting thing, because here's what happened when I did the comparison with the Iridium and the Helix with the Fender amps. I used the same IR. Now I had a ton of people tell me, oh, you're cheating because you're using an impulse response instead of the Helix stock cabs because the Helix stock cabs are so bad, and that whole internet myth that, you know, the Helix stock cabs are the worst thing to ever happen to guitar. I disagree wholeheartedly. I've done many videos about it. But for this one, I thought, let's use the Helix stock cab and let's use the built-in IR, or one of them, that come with the STRYMON Iridium. Now the problem with this is you're never going to be able to match these two things without massive amounts of EQ. And that's not to say that one is better or worse. It's just simply that they're going to be different sounds. Different speaker cabinets, mic'd in who knows what way, depending on how the original creators of the IR and stock cab did it. What microphones were used, I don't have all that information. So it would just be too much hassle to sit there, and I don't want to get into EQing and everything. I just want to use the amp model that's in it with whatever stock cab it is. So what I did, like I mentioned already, is I just reacted to this mix, these 3 guitar parts that you're going to hear. There's going to be a hard panned left, hard panned right rhythm guitar, and there's going to be 1 lead part over top of that. And I just reacted to each modeler with the similar amp model, which is a Marshall Super Lead 100. And I did choose at least a stock cab that was the greenback speakers, much like the one that was in the Iridium. And then I just dialed it in without listening back and forth. So there's going to be differences, obviously, between these 2 mixes, these 2 sounds. I'm not saying that they're even trying to be close, so don't comment with, they don't sound the same. They're not supposed to sound the same. I didn't do it in that way. If I was going to do it that way, I would probably have to take the same impulse response and feed it through, see how I could dial the tones in. Maybe I'll do that if anybody wants to see that video also. Just don't tell me that I was cheating, for whatever that means anyways. So in this video, I'm going to play you mix A and mix B. One of them is the Helix, one of them is the Iridium. And your job's going to be to tell me which one you think is which. Again, I don't know how super valid this is, because a lot of the variables, and this is going to be how I reacted to each modeler. I think personally they both ended up sounding perfectly fine and perfectly usable, as I've found with all other examples. But so many folks have been telling me they're really enjoying these comparison videos that I thought I'll keep throwing them out there. And a lot of folks asked me about doing the Marshall amps versus in the Helix versus the Iridium. So here they are. So you tell me which one you think is which, mix A being the Helix or the Iridium, mix B being the other one. And tell me also which one you prefer. And again, they're going to be different. I dialed them in different. That's just the way it is. So without further ado, let's take a listen to it and you tell me what you think. All right, so what'd you think? I thought both sounded fine, obviously quite different, but I want to see if anybody can pick out which one is the Iridium, which one is the Helix. A lot of folks profess that, oh, the Helix has a specific sound that they can always pick out. The Iridium has a specific, you know, and that might be true. I don't know. You know, in the end, as long as the music that we make is good, as long as everything comes out sounding great in one way or the other, which is going to be different for everybody, then I think it's great. And I think that's what these kind of tests actually show, is that we can get fabulous results out of any of these modern day modelers with very minimal effort. One thing to keep in mind, you're only hearing the amp modeling here, okay? There's no other post-processing as far as EQ and compression. I did add a dab of reverb to all the guitars and a little dab of delay to the lead guitars, but I did that within Cubase, and I added the exact same settings and the exact same amount to each, so that's not going to be a variable. It's just so the mix sounded more like a mix, where there wasn't a perfectly dry tone going into it. So again, tell me in the comments below, is mix A the Helix or the Iridium? Is mix B the Helix or the Iridium? And which one did you prefer? And a few days from now, today's Monday, maybe Thursday or Friday, I'm going to do the reveal video, and I'll take you through what I did and my kind of thoughts about it all and working with the two of them. All right, so thank you guys so much for participating. Again, I hope you enjoy this one as much as you enjoyed the last ones. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would want to participate and enjoy it, and also subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out, and I will be back really soon with some more content. Thanks again for your time and for tuning in. Ciao for now.